All right, everybody. Let's see. It is looking like we are now live. Make sure I got my ones and twos in the mix here. All right. What is up, everybody? What is up? Nice little quick tune in. Welcome to another episode of Card Talk Live, the second consecutive episode. I am coming live from New York City, from Tribeca, Manhattan. It is currently Tuesday at 7:02 p.m. on the East Coast. Zen Rasta 47 is in the building. And I am wrapping up what was a pretty productive Tuesday, pretty productive overall President's Day weekend. I was really sad, frankly, to miss what seemed to be like the most wild Dallas card show probably in a couple of years. I'm excited for an epic show tonight. We have a great group of guests that are going to be joining us. Similar to last week, although minus everyone's favorite part of the trio, Ryan Johnson will be joining me to kick off things. I believe Ryan was down in Dallas. I'm excited to get Ryan's takeaways of what happened down there this weekend, what looked like just a smorgasbord of things. I will then have my buddy, Coach Co. Tech and Sports. We outside is right. We outside, although it is brick outside. If you are in New York City, get indoors because it is coming. And supposedly we're getting a little, I don't know. See, this is the thing now, like Twitter, everyone does things for engagement. It's crazy. I can't tell if this storm is supposed to be like 96 blizzard or people are just doing it for the likes and retweets. But it sounds like we're going to get a pretty insane snowstorm this weekend. But like I was saying, I have Ryan Johnson joining. I have Coach Co joining, who's a big content person themselves. They work with a bunch of different brands, helping distribute their stuff. And then I have my buddy Pack Rip Mahomes, longtime hobbyist, doing some stuff in the digital and physical side. So I want to get their update and their latest on what's happening in the world there. And then lastly, I have my buddy Bradley Jack Designs, who does a lot of kind of what I will say graphic design work for card companies, working with VFriends themselves, as well as kind of on this journey doing the classic, day 74 of building, their brand. And it's something I'm very intrigued in as everything is about demand and attention, the ability to get licenses and or work on smaller projects and or one-off projects for athletes, things of that nature, becomes very compelling and very possible. That's a little bit of preview for the show tonight. So aside from that, there's a couple things on my mind that I want to just get off my chest. First, events. Event series are growing. People, this is what the hobby is about. People want to be together. People want to be in person. People want to touch and feel and exchange the stories, just like this ticket I have right here that I finally got back from PSA, which is dated Saturday, October 20th, 2001. I was just over 10 years old. It is for a playoff game, rain check. Yankees, they were playing the Mariners, and they lost 14-3. I was at that game with my dad. Early Ticketmaster. Let's see. Where were my seats? Section U28, $50 face value for a nice playoff ticket there. Yankees lost 14-3. So, like, people want to get together in person. I think highly curated events are crushing. I would implore everyone that has a hobby shop or that might be listening to host more, host for kids, host trade nights, but also host for adults, host for high end, host for certain themes. People want to get outside, people want things to do, people want to be in person. Because the next thing I'm going to talk about is content. It does feel I'm in it. I've been in it. I've been working in this space for, I want to say 12 years, but even before that, in college, I was doing a ton of content. but it does. I will definitely say that since we've turned the leaf to 2026, I think there's just a collective people are like, okay, you know what? Actually, this is real. Whether it's economic doomsday, whether it's harder than ever to get a job. I saw the stats over the last 10 years for like 22 to 26-year-olds trying to get a job. They just fundamentally not existing anymore. So I do think that there's this increased wave of content that is happening across every sector, and I do think I'm seeing it in the hobby. And I'll point to the Dallas Card Show, an event that has had an incredible run, very successful. I started going, I believe, in 2021. It even had some juice, meaning it had been a real thing starting then. But I saw more content coming out of that show from them, the event, working with specific creators, doing collab posts, having their own talent, walking around doing content. It feels like people are realizing and recognizing content is more important than ever if you want awareness, if you want to drive demand, and everyone is doing it. And it feels like there's been a collective, this whole notion of like, is it embarrassing? Is it the right thing to do? Does it actually work? Feels like that's all gone to the wayside in many ways. My buddy Gordy, who I'm going to have on here at one point, live selling is one big factor of that. And I don't mean whatnot. I mean like high-end newsletter, podcast, white glove service. Hey, what's your budget? I'll go out and look for some cards for you for the next 2 weeks, come back to you and do a deal that way. That's happening in a massive way. So content. And then that brings me to another thing that I'm going to look to talk to with my guests tonight in a real way, which is, seems like Beckett has made their announcement that they are back and they are in action. And I do have a clip I'm going to try to bring out from last week where I said, I think it's a good thing. I do believe that being around winners, being around ambition, being around people that are pushing for drive and growth, I don't think that Collectors Universe or Nat sat there and just, said, we want to buy this brand because we want to put it out of business. It was already going out of business, or at least fumbling its way to that place. So if you're in here, I do need, though, there's 9 of you. Show me, just say what's up in the comments so I know who you are. Share, give me a little share, maybe put it on stories. We're going to have some guests coming on here soon that we're pumped about. So please do that. Let's see. All good. I'm on here. Ready when you are. So that's definitely something. But Beckett, I'm very, very, very intrigued to see what's going to happen with that. Sounds like Ryan might be a little quick time behind. And then the other thing, so I'm going to start sharing my screen here. Let's see if this works. Share screen. Let's see if I can find a different window. Here we go. This is the last thing that I wanted to talk about. These Tiger Woods custom pieces were really, really, really making the rounds of late. So this was at his, what I believe is 50th birthday party, his foundation event. There was 415 made, individually numbered and handed out. Some great content. Peterborough, it's good. So yeah, Tekken, like that's just, I think that there's this major duality that's happening, which is the more that content and digital and connection in this way that's happening right now, which is like Peterborough Sports Cards and Zen Rasta 47, and we're all hanging out on this live, the more that this will continue to proliferate, whether, Zuck's tribe with the metaverse thing and it kind of like squandered because AI came up and was, going big. But like as digital and all of that gets crazier, I was talking to my uncle today. My cousin is studying the same major I did, which was hospitality. In the same way that is going forth on the digital side, service and hospitality businesses and events are going to keep growing and be bigger than ever. Both on the high end and on the low end, but good service. That goes back to why I think events in the hobby are ripping. I mean, every single weekend there are great events that are going on, and you can kind of, you can be the individual entrepreneur. You can show up and be a vendor. Prime example right here. I'm gonna bring my buddy on in 1 second, but to finalize that point, like I just think that it's both. And showing up in person, going to the events, yeah, exactly. And you have the information on the pricing and all of those things. So, Rye, you ready to boogie? Let me see here. Let's see. You there?
Yeah. I was texting. I'm trying to. I'm on the phone. So getting this thing like go full screen is like you got all your tabs open. I'm like, this is a bit of an experience here, bud.
Different experience.
The old
That's all
phone
right.
does, like the iPhone case is like, this close to actually working. So yeah, but
Yeah.
we're good.
Amazing. Thank you.
What's the
Thank
word?
you.
How we
Thank you for
doing?
taking the quick time. We're doing good. We're doing good. Great football game last night. Great football game last night.
All time football game, man. I mean, you the U got some playmakers. That Ruben Bain dude's an animal. Malachi Tony's legit. Mark Fletcher's a animal. But I mean, cornball, goofy old Fernando Mendoza, man, just getting it done. I mean, I
Who
just
would have
never
thought?
thought we would live in a world where we sat here and we talked on a Tuesday and we said the Indiana Hoosiers are 16-0 champions of college football. That's crazy, dude. That's hard to even fathom.
That was the weirdest thing to me. Like, was sitting there and being like, I've spent every pretty much year since my memory, probably 7, 8 years old, like watching Penn State in hopes of this like journey of like gearing up to like win the game, and it just never happens. But I feel like as Indiana fans, they didn't even have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no. I mean, it's always been basketball for sure, right? Like that would be like Penn State basketball being like national champs next year. And you'd be like,
and not even like a 4-year run of like getting better, getting better, getting
yeah,
better. It's like
just
cold out of left field, and they didn't
we did it.
lose. It wasn't even like a backdoor into the Big Ten championship that happens sometimes.
Yeah, it wasn't like 3 losses, debatable on the cusp. Like, no, they did it. They didn't lose anybody.
Yeah,
They beat
so
Oregon
that,
twice, beat Ohio State, beat Alabama, just everybody. I mean,
yeah,
all time quote. Signetti's opening press conference says, "I win, Google me." Then proceeds to go 16-0 and wins. That's crazy. That's all time. That might be all time.
It really. I feel like I need to just start living my life that way with some real chutzpah and just telling everyone to Google me.
I
Right,
will
got some
say,
questions for
Ty, no, you
Yep.
weren't. You weren't there. Missed you. This weekend in Dallas. Whew. Let me tell you, man. Dallas Card Show was
That's what I wanted
market's
to
crazy
ask.
right now.
That's what I wanted
Crazy,
to ask.
crazy, dude. Crazy nuts. Crazy.
Was it a
craziness.
3-day show?
Dallas is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Was all 4 days, and what were your indicators? Like, what gave you
The most amount of people I've
this
seen
one
at
feels
Dallas
different?
since COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, most amount of people I've seen in Dallas since COVID. Yeah, just
Did you set up?
too
No,
deep at
right?
every single table.
You don't set up
No,
as a
we
vendor,
just
do you?
walk and film.
Yep.
No,
And okay, so there's more people, too deep. Were vendors like were cards moving? Was there transactions happening?
yep, yeah, it was just everything was moving. I would say, I talked about it today on my pod a little bit, just around like what was really crazy to me was I feel like One Piece has taken off,
Yeah.
so quickly. I don't own any One Piece cards. Like I'm not in the like I own zero, zip, zilch, nada.
Mhm.
But One Piece was moving. So many people. it definitely feels like a good sign for the market because it was next level for sure.
Yeah. Did you feel one thing that I feel like I've seen since 2016 or not 2016, since the start of 2026, I feel like everyone there's been like a multiplier in how many people are doing content. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I
Because even
feel
like
like it's
Dallas Card
yeah, I
Show
feel like that's
was
very
doing like
true.
reels like crazy.
Yeah, the team there has done a great job. They've they had done a couple of them like up until that point, and I think they kind of went like all in on this show, and yeah, I mean just pumped out content like crazy. I definitely feel like the content thing is for sure happening. I feel like now it's a lot more just you know, we did the vlogs, the full length vlogs, and then we cut that up into shorts and we make both. It's definitely just a lot of like social media, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, 90 seconds or less, dealing
Yeah.
live at a card show, upload same day. That content works. It's working right now. It's definitely working at scale, and some people are really, understanding it and crushing it, and you're seeing that in the content. Yeah, there's a lot of people right now. It's a lot different than, a couple years ago. It's a lot of people with cameras, a lot of people with tripods. I think it's good. I think it's good for attention for the space. I think there's some people doing some really cool stuff, and when you can get packed house and all those people talking about the Dallas Card Show and about the hobby and where it's headed, I feel like that's good attention for the space.
So the One Piece stuff, you bring it up because you felt it at the show. Did you see it at the show a lot?
Hmm.
Obviously, it's been in the
Yeah.
like whole sphere of Twitter and then like, valuations and all that. But like on the ground, on the floor, was it notable like in that regard?
Yeah, there's quite a bit of it in showcases, just in general. Like, if you wanted to find One Piece, you could definitely find One Piece. A lot of people mixing it in with showcases, people we regularly deal with that you're like know for sports and such, have it in their showcases. It definitely is being transacted. It is definitely uh being added to dealers' portfolios. It's come up pretty quickly. Again, I think it's been a thing. We've heard about it, and we've sold packs in shop, and like we've seen it for a little while, but it feels like since for the last 4 to 6 weeks, and Dallas I think was really the tipping point for me to like see it in like such scale. It's on fire right now.
And then how about Pokemon? Because I feel like some shows that I've been at recently just also had an immense amount of Pokemon, volume, just like slabs.
Yep.
Were you feeling that there too?
Yeah. I
Like I feel
mean,
like Pokemon really came into the sports card
yeah. I
scene.
mean, Pokemon's. Yeah. I mean, Pokemon's been really big in Dallas for a minute. Like, Pokemon's
Yeah,
not new in Dallas, so Dallas has done a. I don't know if I cut out.
you're
Um,
good. You're good.
Dallas has done a great job of Pokemon. Dallas has done a good job of Pokemon stuff for a while, so I don't think I've like ever really noticed like crazy spikes in it. 'Cause, like, kind of didn't touch that. It was just more like
We might have lost you, Rye.
my
Yeah,
back,
you're good. You're back. You're back. You're back. You're back. You're back.
my back.
Yep.
Yeah, long story. Yes, Pokemon don't really feel like how insane it is, because it's always there. But One Piece was a lot more prevalent this time.
Okay, Beckett. Feel like there's been like like in the last 4 days, Nat put out a tweet that Beckett was either had a presence or was doing some stuff in Dallas, and then the new GM put out a tweet today just about I don't know if you saw that about kind of like, hey, I'm taking over. What are things we want to hear from everyone? What are your thoughts? How can we, be better? All of that. Did you see any of that?
Yeah, the line for the Beckett booth was insane amount of attention there. So many people in line grading cards. I don't know the last time I saw the Beckett line that crazy, which is actually surprising because I think they like doubled or tripled. There was a massive raise to their RCR, so their raw card review pricing at the show
Hmm.
jumped quite a bit. So crazy to see for me, but with where the market's at, with Top Scrum basketball coming out lately, and Kaboom's on fire, and One Piece exploding, it's not really a surprise, right? The ability to get a card graded real time that's worth thousands and thousands of dollars and can be validated or increase in price based on that ability to grade real time. It's hard for people to pass.
Yeah, and then can you just speak to like also I think brand value matters so much, and even while it was dormant, and I think we talked about this briefly last week, which is just like I still think it's a sleeping giant in many ways. A hat tip to like some of these other players. Tag, I think, has come a long way in the last 5 years from maybe when they first popped out. I had the guys C3 grading on because I just think that there's opportunity. The demand for grading cards has to be so big. Like, what did Beckett mean to you? Just give me 2 seconds on like, do you care? Like, if they're running and humming well, do they matter to you? Does it not matter? Slash, did you hear me?
Again, I think I've talked about that before. Like, yeah, I got it all. Yeah, I don't probably a little more static on your end than on my end, but yeah, we're rocking. Um, yeah, Beckham was a big deal last week. Just looking the history of the market, Beckett's been big for a while. So yeah, I think it's a good thing for that brand to become prominent again. It's good for the market to have options. I prefer the Beckett slab look from just an aesthetics. Like I prefer the Beckett slab. Obviously got to kind of fix like that company's fallen off pretty hardcore from its peak. Turnaround times right now are abysmal. It's it kept prices pretty high through the COVID days, and I think a lot of people kind of chose CGC and or during that time when opportunities existed for Beckett to be more competitive. But I think, if Beckett can get back to what it was pre-COVID, I mean, that was the brand in grading, and it's been around for a while. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there.
Love it. What is before you go, what is your main area of focus? Like you wake up tomorrow, what's the most important thing that you got to focus on for your business?
Um, that's a great question. I think the thing, um, we've really expanded our like singles business over the last like 90 days. New batches of singles in shop on a regular basis, new batches on our website twice a week. We've in like insane. I'll share with you privately. Like our singles selection has like our sales dollars behind the singles on our business have really drastically changed. So just finding a way to kind of perfect that I think is big.
Hmm.
When we put cards on our whatnot, we put cards on our website, we put cards in shop. Like we have a lot. Like we grade cards. There's you need so much volume. I mean, to move the kind of scale we're trying to do. So kind of trying to perfect that craft of buying enough to be able to scale it and then
Hmm.
getting it in multiple places and ultimately trying to perfect the way for all of those cards to be listed in the same area simultaneously. But just continuing to increase selection and volume. I think the singles thing is a big part of the future of the hobby. I just breakers need it, repackers need it, collectors need
Yeah.
it. There's a lot of people, interested in the single space. And our data shows that. So I think that's what I'm focused on the most right now is the singles piece of our business.
Yeah. I would echo that on the VFriend side. It's something we're spending a ton of time on just on from live shows and onboarding and giveaways and just everyone's ability to get their hands on one. And that also is why I just think that there remains to be so much opportunity in grading outside of the premier graders, because at the pace at which new people, I mean, everyone that engages in cards or the hobby in any way in a serious manner has to be getting texts multiple times a week, just like new people. And so every one of those individuals has to make a first purchase, or a
Yep.
first single pickup. And that's where I just think that there's so much. And then to your point, the other things, the repacking, all of the different little business ecosystems that are happening. And I think that there's the amount of people that want things that have no clue the difference between PSA or Beckett or SGC or this or that, and just kind of like are looking for it in the plastic holder, is large. And so I hear you on that, on the singles. And yeah, it's fascinating times, Rye. Fascinating times.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different. So let's
Well, I
do it again
appreciate
soon.
you. Yeah, please.
Best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you always. Have a great night. All the best to the fam. Love you, bro.
See you, buddy.
Peace. All right. My guy with here's a funny story for everyone real quick. Card Talk, the name of Card Talk, I don't remember what it was going to be named, but then I decided it's going to be Card Talk because the show Car Talk, CAR Talk, is a famous show on NPR that many people used to listen to. And when I would drive around with my father, that would come on and be like, Car Talk. And then that's how we landed on Card Talk. But Ryan just joined us for a little car talk because I don't know what's going on, inside. So he popped out, hopped in the car, and joined the show. So thank you, Ryan, as always, for taking a little bit of time. Packy, I see you back there. I'm gonna bring Coach Co on. We're just a little touch behind here, Jam, and then I'll get to you. So next guest is now coming. Everyone, Tech and Sports, thank you for being here. Soggy, we are back with round 2. Buds with Nick, CSA show. I've got too many acronyms going on in my head right now. I need you to type out which show exactly is the CSA show. And we do need Ryan on the Pokemon train, but I will say I do respect people that stay in their lane, stay doing their thing. As a businessman, I think Ryan is engaged in Pokemon heavily. As a personal collector, I think he's picking up like third string lineman for the Ohio State Buckeyes is where he spends most of his time. So I respect that too. All right, my man, Coach. Bringing you to the stage. How you doing, brother?
Why can't I hear you?
Can you not hear me?
Something wrong with my.
Can everyone hear me?
Over here. All right, the buzz kill it.
No, you're good. Can you hear me or
what's
not?
What's going on here? I can't hear you.
Let's see. Let's see. They hear both of us. Go to your system. We can hear you, Tyler, and you can hear me. We can't. He can't hear you. Okay. You can hear me, but now I can't hear you.
I can now. Magic. There we go.
All right, we made it.
I had to buzzkill the intro, man. I'm sorry.
All right, we're good. Are you going with a double New York outfit? Yankees hat?
I have the double New York outfit right now, yeah.
Tekken, you're saying you cannot hear him?
Maybe now.
Let's see. Edit mic settings. Let me see how this works. We good now. We good.
Good?
Yep. All right, brother. Talk to me. I wanted to have you on for two different topics of conversation. First, I want you to introduce yourself a little bit. I know you as one of the leading individuals in all things content in the space. And when I talk about that, there's two things. One, there's the front end, which is what people might see of you and your face and the things that you're doing, your own brand and what have you. And then there's the back end, which is the empowerment and the things that you're working on, the people that you're helping out, those types of things. In many ways, content is the backbone to the growth, to the onboarding, to the education, those types of things. And then as someone that's just in the trenches, I just need to get a little taste and feel of what you're seeing. Obviously, Ryan might have been a little bit choppy for some. Just recapped a little bit, but are you in Dallas? Were you just in Dallas?
I was just in Dallas. Yeah, I got back Sunday evening.
And what brought you down there?
Content, bro. Much of what we were just talking about. So I have over the last year or so, I mean, definitely before that as well, but I've really doubled down on content in the last year or so, and more specifically, content in the trenches. It's allowed me to have some amazing conversations with people who have kind of pioneered the collectibles industry. It's amazing. Like, the more I try to learn about the space, because, by no means am I an expert. I'm definitely probably more well-versed than most people. And, I think it's hilarious when people call me an expert, because for me, I'm like, there's so much I still don't know. But as part of my pursuit of learning as much as I possibly can, largely in part to respect the space that has, centuries of collecting. I mean, people have always collected something of some kind.
Yep.
I'm just trying to learn as much as humanly possible. And I think that the best way to do that is in the trenches, talking to the people who set up regularly, who have been setting up for the last, 2-3 decades, who own card shops. Like, at the beginning of December, myself and my team, we did on our way to Philly, we did a Northeast shop tour where we hit 8 shops in 48 hours. And the purpose was to get to know these people who either manage these shops or own these shops, and talk to them a little bit about like how the industry is for them and kind of their own personal stories with relation to growth and what they're seeing and what they like and what they don't like. And part of that is to just see how like I can help, you know what I mean? And before I did this, I'm sorry to keep yapping.
Yes, I was going to go there.
Before I did this, I was, there were definitely a lot of moments where I would look at the space, and a lot of what is consumed online is largely, I would say, negative. And that's just because it's the easiest stuff to like get onto your feed, right? I mean, if we think about like the news, like you're very seldom
jarring shock factor argument. Yep.
Exactly. And so in order to kind of like flip that narrative and to like really see what was going on, I really had to go into the trenches, talk to these people who are in the space on a regular basis, talk to new entrants coming in and kind of like how they felt about things, and just kind of be reminded of like why I started back up in this space in the first place. And it's been like a wonderful kind of like eye-opening experience.
Did you work in production or make content before? Like, when did you kind of like dive head first on the collectible side?
Yeah, so I did not produce a single piece of content before COVID.
Like in your life,
but like not
outside of collectibles,
not seriously.
Yeah.
So like a long time ago, I was in a promotion, but it was like mainly BlackBerry, like Facebook, early Facebook days.
Yep.
And when I transitioned into a personal trainer as like this is you need a career.
Yeah.
I dropped all of that. It was like, okay, like, all the socializing and stuff is kind of like over. I don't like, these things don't really serve a purpose to me. I mean, little did I know that if I still had those Facebook groups,
you'd be cooking.
I'd be cooking. You know what I mean? Like, I think about this a lot. Is like, I mean, I remember having like a Facebook group with like 70,000 like followers in there, and this was 2016. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I'm like, what would I be doing with that Facebook group now? But I mean, I determined for whatever reason that there was just did not serve a purpose for me. I kind of wanted to go like a little bit off the grid. And then COVID happened, and I was kind of searching for purpose. Not to say that like being a personal trainer wasn't purposeful, but just something outside of work. And I'd realized that, some of the happiest moments of my life were around collecting. And I mean, the collectible space was kind of like right in front of me. I think right around that time, Vegas Dave had just broken an all-time high with the trout sale. And he had been, saying things like Derek Carr is a buy, and I was just kind of like,
Yeah.
are you saying that there's like money in sports cards?
Yep.
And that was kind of like the beginning. And then from like the creating content perspective, a lot of that was literally me just asking questions because I felt like there was no place for me to go to acquire the knowledge I needed.
Mhm.
And so I would see something and I would just make a video about it. You know, I know one thing that kind of sticks in my head is the green Bowman refractors, the numbered out of 99. People hate green. For anyone who's listening right now or anyone who's watching right now, people despise green. The sentiment has shifted a little bit, but it still remains true that like a blue out of 150 generally will outsell a green out of 99. And it's because it's a true parallel, something that is not said to anybody. It's just like an unwritten rule that you're supposed to know.
And what does
And
that
what
mean? A true
just the-
parallel because it was always there, and then they added more.
one of the first Bowman
The original.
parallels.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And then they started kind of like adding them on as they started like increasing print runs and stuff of that nature. But again, like none of that information is like really out there. It's like you're just expected to know if you're going to operate in the space. And that was something that I found, I mean, a little bit ridiculous. It's like anyone should be allowed to kind of like be in this space. And if you're asking questions, realistically, like you're looking for knowledge, that should be welcomed with kind of like an openness. And so every time I learned something, I would kind of like regurgitate that to my audience. And the audience was very small. But I quickly found out that there was like actually a lot of other people out there that either wanted to help me along my journey or were equally as lost and were like, hey, every time you learn something, can you just put it out there?
Yeah.
And so, you know, it became like a news plus like, here's what I learned segment, essentially. And the more that I dove into it, the more I was like, man, this is like a lot of fun. And it became about the stories eventually where, you know, it's funny. I found it happens specifically on Facebook, but it happens everywhere. But largely on Facebook, you'll have people comment on videos of, you know, for instance, like the Pokemon Pikachu illustrator, someone who has no idea about the subject matter. They're like, it's a piece of cardboard. How could it be worth, you know, $6 million? And it's just funny because it's worth $6 million because of the story. You know what I mean? It's literally like the provenance of the grade. It's the, you know, the fact that like it was owned by Logan Paul and walked out to WrestleMania, and like you can keep going and keep going. And the more things you can kind of like add to the story, the more valuable that this item is. And so I really just like got obsessed with storytelling.
And that's where what I'm intrigued and for value that people, you know, listening or will still see clips, which is like that knowledge then can likely be applied to many other areas. I mean, as someone, I'm kind of like scratching my own itch in the sense of like I'm around it so much. Content to drive business results, content that is good storytelling that drives attention, the learnings, the consistency, all of that can then give you by accident. And I feel like you've taken that and applied it in some ways by saying, okay, this is either an expertise that I now have that can help others. It's not just for me to build my own brand. I can do it as a business, and or you could walk into not just any retail shop from a hobby perspective, but any business that wants to drive demand and understand how do we get this stuff out there.
Yeah. I mean, you would be 100% accurate in saying that. It's funny how many things are not appreciated appropriately because they're not told from the right lens. The story is not really told from the right lens. And again, because I have become kind of like obsessed with the story, I mean, I never really take on things that like I don't truly believe in. So like that's like my one kind of cardinal rule. But when I do believe in something, it's like very easy for me to tell the story because I'm like, why don't other people appreciate this as much as I do, or I think like other people do? And that could be like literally anything. It could be, I mean, I made a video from the Dallas Card Show, literally, I think it was like yesterday, where I was stopped dead in my tracks by a vendor who at the time was like on the phone, and I was just like sifting through his binders, and he had like a 2,400 count binder. And I was just shocked. I was like, oh my God, like this is crazy. And he was like, he started laughing. He's like, yeah, when I saw it, like I thought it was crazy too. And like the video is literally just like us talking about how crazy this binder is. I'm not affiliated with this binder company whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, I mean, there's like 150 saves on it on TikTok. It's been shared, a couple hundred times. I would not doubt that like that binder is either out of stock or that multiple copies have sold as a result of that video. And I did not make the video with intentions to sell that binder. But if I was, I mean, that's literally all it takes is like, I didn't tell anyone to go buy it. I didn't just showed everyone just like the use case and how cool it was that you could have all of
and
your
it
stuff
existed
in the same place. Exactly.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, it's
And
funny.
so-
I was at Bleecker and it was similar in some sense. I was at Bleecker in the West Village and they do these like now like card shows, like smaller thing. And I pulled up on one guy that was set up and he had this like little like stand, but it was like the most unique like card stand that was like perfect, like
Yeah.
different. I'm like, what is this piece? Where did you get this? And he was like, bro, like, I don't know. I just found it on Amazon one day. And he's like, but the thing is, like, I made a couple of videos about it and you can't get them anymore. Like, like,
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
So that, like, and I feel that is cyclically happening with just the hobby in general, with commerce in many ways. So give me your like 2 or 3 takeaways from Dallas. What were you seeing on the floor, whether it was, certain products that were moving or energy of the crowd? What were your takeaways?
So that was my first ever Dallas show.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, you know me, I had to talk to people.
Yeah.
From what I heard, it was the biggest Dallas show ever in terms of like attendance, just like the number of bodies in the room at any given time. I saw a ridiculous amount of liquidity, like so much so that when I talk to everyday people about it, they almost don't believe me.
Yeah.
I truly believe that like if you brought the right stuff to Dallas and even had like decent pricing, like you could have sold anything. And I've never seen that happen before at any show. And I've been to the National like 5 times. I've been to Fanatics Fest, and there are just things that like will not move.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was really crazy. It was very bullish. I mean, I left there very, very bullish on the hobby. I saw 14, 15-year-olds with 30 racks. You know what I mean? Like
Crazy.
it is
Crazy. What do you think was the what either sport? What was the sport, non-sport, or even athlete? Give me like some specific anecdote. Like what would you have been like, yup, I'm seeing that everywhere, or yup, that's what's in demand, or yup, like this one person over there is just moving this one product.
Michael Jordan is like, I mean, if you have anything Michael Jordan, it looks like the GOATs for sure were the easiest to move.
What was the temp on LeBron?
It was not as high. There was a guy who had an All Kings insert that like I was very much interested in, and I doubled back to his table like 3 times over the course of the 3 days I was there, and I mean it was still on the table. So
yeah,
it's also because like he was priced a little higher than market, and I mean I think like reasonably so. But if that was an MJ, like I mean I saw plenty of $30,000 MJs move. And I don't think I saw as many LeBrons.
Yep.
It looked like it was like very GOAT heavy. Guys that were participating in the playoffs. So like if you had CJ,
quarterbacks,
Drake May, Caleb, I mean those guys would move. Shohei Ohtani.
there was playoff games that were happening during.
There
it, right?
was, yeah. Yeah.
So I imagine there was some fun, like some guys like bought the Stroud before the game, and then
Yeah.
Stroud might not
Yeah.
even be in the NFL anymore. You know.
I actually sold a Stroud on Saturday, so I kind of felt bad for the guy I sold it
Yeah,
to.
that's
But
the game. That's the game.
I'll hook him up at some point.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So,
What area do you focus on collecting wise?
so I'm all over the place, which is like not ideal in like an investment perspective. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But as a
I-
collector, like, what do you what
I
gets you
collect a lot of
going?
like ticket stubs.
Nice. What was that
They
one?
are. So this is a fun story actually. So this is the so I'm a big Toronto Maple Leafs fan. I'm from Toronto.
Nice.
The Austin Matthews just became the leading goal scorer for the Toronto Maple Leafs,
Oh, nice.
and it happened in Long Island. And obviously, it's very hard to get ticket stubs these days.
Yep.
So on a whim, I was like, I'm just gonna go on the Islanders Instagram page and see in the comment section, and like people always want to flex that they were at these games, especially because Schaefer had scored an OT winner, so I knew people would be like super hype. And so I looked for the post where he scored the OT winner. I messaged like 8 people saying like, hey, by off chance, like, do you happen to have like ticket stubs from the game? I came up empty on those. A few people did reach out to me and they're like, hey, like I'll follow up again and like see if I can grab them. I ended up posting it on Facebook, and someone reached out to me with 2 tickets. And
Where on Facebook did you post it?
it was a ticket stub group.
Facebook groups is like it's an
Yeah.
area I don't even go into, and I feel like Facebook groups are actually where everything is going down.
It's funny, and again, as someone who was like kind of upset by what happened with myself on Facebook, I like was like, screw it, Facebook's for boomers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like over the last, I would say 8 months, 10 months, actually since last year when TikTok banned everybody, because like my largest following was on TikTok previously. The ban happened and I kind of got shook, and I was like, hold on a second, like I got to start building everywhere, because if this happens again, I'm cooked. It happened to be the best thing that ever happened to me, because I ended up building a pretty considerable Facebook following, and like they're incredibly engaged and they help me with so much stuff, and really opened my eyes to Facebook. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have got this ticket. And this is something that I'm probably going to keep in my collection. I mean, for a very long time.
Yeah.
As a Leaf fan, it's funny. I have his first goal. Nice.
This is like my favorite game that I think I've ever been to in my life. This is Penn State, Ohio State, 2016, whiteout. Improbable win by Penn State. Huge W, kind of their mark, getting out of the sanctioned era. I'm there with all my boys, storm the field, on the field, last people to leave the field at the end of the game. And tickets were the first thing really that I would say I ever collected.
Yeah.
I have pretty much every ticket to everything I've ever went to. And I think we do a lot of, consulting and for teams, agencies, what have you, like, and we talk a lot about collectibles as marketing, and like, it's just sitting there for every team to do.
I honestly don't understand how they just stopped, because like everyone I've ever spoken to at some point in their lives collected ticket stubs from movies they went to, from trips that they went on, like even like plane tickets.
Yeah.
Like those are like the preservation of memories. And the fact that like, I know that we've gone like completely digital, and I'm sure that that's like helping the environment to a certain extent, but like we're losing out on like a critical like memory. Every single game, I mean, I literally have a shoebox at home full of old ticket stubs that like, I mean, I've gone through it. Unfortunately, none of them are like crazy notable, but like every time I pick them up, I distinctly remember that game. I distinctly remember what happened. I'm kind of like rewinded to a different time of my life. And like, that's what I love so much about these ticket stubs.
Yeah, agreed. And I think that's the best part about collecting. Where, Coach, where can people find your stuff?
Yeah, I'm across all platforms, Coach Co Collectibles. I mean, you'll find me interviewing people about their collections or their hobby experience, or maybe their hobby shop, as well as providing the people with the up-to-date stuff that's happening in the collectible space.
And then Jay says, Coach K the GOAT. And then lastly, what do you, outside of ticket stubs, is there anything like put out your PBA to if someone comes across something and says, I listened to him talk about it, maybe I'll send it to him. What's the thing you're on the hunt for?
Yeah,
Big,
I collect
small.
a lot of like I build out sets. So
Yep.
I mean, there's like a few that I'm building out right now. For instance, the 97 Pinnacle Team Golds. So these are all numbered out of 300. The Hockey Goats 97, which like is super nostalgic for me. I'm missing 3, so Korea, Forsberg, and Yager. If anyone knows where those
Legends.
are, I
Legends.
exactly, greatly appreciated.
Team
And then
that's great.
96 Bowman's Best Atomic Refractors. Those are the cuts.
Yeah.
I have all of those except for Barry and I can't remember what the other one was, but definitely Barry Sanders. Need that one. Oh,
Nice.
Jerry Rice. It's Barry Sanders and Jerry Rice are the 2 that I need.
You saved the hard ones for last.
I know.
Sweet. Well, brother, thank you for joining. Thank you for, everything you're doing in the hobby. I'll get to hit you up. We got a lot to talk about. And if there's anything I can do, you know where to find me.
Appreciate you having me on and appreciate the dialogue always, man. I'm excited to continue to build not just in the collectible space, but, whatever projects we have that overlap.
Love it, bro. I'll see you soon, all right?
Yeah, man.
See you, bro. Peace.
Take care. Bye.
All right. That was my boy, Coach. I've done a good bit of just like different creative behind the scenes work as we grow VFriends, both in our partnerships with retail and hobby shops, and then also just like content and awareness. Coach is a name that continues to pop up, many times spoken about in just the best ways behind the scenes when he's not even a part of the conversation. Someone that I believe deeply in and is just putting on in a good way for the hobby, much like my long-term friend who I'm about to have on, who has been nothing but one of the biggest supporters, an individual that makes me smile ear to ear every time I get the chance to see them, and talk about Dallas. If I recall, I feel like some of our best memories together have been in Dallas. Unfortunately, his counterpart has a torn ACL and is out for a little bit. So it's ACL rip Mahomes, but
ACL.
My brother. What
How
is
you doing? You good?
I'm great, man.
Good.
How are you?
Good. I'm good. I can't complain.
Good.
Early in the morning, but it's all right.
Yeah, what time you got right now?
Pretty much 1 a.m.
Nice. All right, well, you're a night owl anyway. And I see. How the piano lessons going behind you?
I'm like Stevie Wonder.
Tickling. What do they say? Tickling the ivory?
Yeah.
My brother, what's going on? How's life?
Hey, life is good. I'm happy. I'm healthy. That's all I can ask for, right?
Yeah.
How about yourself?
Likewise, man.
Family
Blessed.
good?
Family's good.
Yes.
Rocking and rolling. Grateful.
It's
I
good.
get to work on things that I love and jam with people that inspire me in many ways.
Yeah. Well,
What's
I'm
the
glad you brought
latest?
it back. I'm glad you
What's
brought it
that?
back. I'm glad you brought card. talk
Yeah,
back.
we're
Needed
trying.
it. Yeah, the people
I
needed
want
it.
to. It's a lot of like what I just talked with Coach. It's not only to just continue to further develop in the area that I spend a lot of time in, which is content and relationship development and connections. That's how I see this show. I want to use it as a platform to help, bring out information and knowledge that a lot of people, friends that I am, have in my orbit, get them to speak, get them to share their mind. I enjoy interviewing people and then just want to keep the consistency of content output going. I think we built a great brand with Card Talk, myself, Ryan, Lou, Jay, Courtney, everyone. And so I think it was only apropos that I fire this thing back up and now get to jam and talk with people like yourself about what you got going on. What's the latest? Are you spending much time? What's your day-to-day in the world of sports cards and collectibles looking like nowadays?
It's been a bit of a roller coaster. Obviously, being in the UK, it's a different sort of way of collecting and buying and investing in cards. Obviously, with COVID and then the Trump tax obviously affects a lot of stuff with PSA grading, and so it's been a crazy 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, it's been fun. It's been fun. I'm into it day to day. I've got obviously the Pat Grimer Homes, which is mainly my Kansas City Chiefs sort of collection. I was tempted to sort of start a Lakers one and a Manchester City one, but I think I just keep it in one. And I've got a little something on the side, a little something, a little. Oh, it's
Oh,
a short, yeah, a
nice.
little investor. You know, that's how we do there. Just
Talk to me. What is that? What are you up to with that?
So basically, because I've sort of been doing this now for a couple of years as my main job, I've wanted to help a lot more people stay in a hobby, by earning money in a hobby. I think the more
Yeah.
money you make in a hobby, so a lot of people lost a lot of money in the hobby because they came
Mhm.
in during COVID when the prices were high and had to sell at a low in 2023, 2024 to recoup some money. And it was just a shame seeing a lot of these people that I was seeing week in, week out at shows or speaking to on Instagram, etc., just leave the hobby and having to sell. So yeah, now I'm going to try and spread a lot more knowledge, try to build a community where people can come in and we can learn about the hobby properly and invest properly and then use that investment to either help your life outside or help your collection grow.
Yeah. And is that a brand that you're building? Like, is that a separate page or what are you up to with that?
Yeah, completely separate. Yeah, whole different brand. It's all under one big company. It does a lot of stuff, but yeah, it's one of the offshoot brands of that for sure.
Amazing. And is that content course? What's kind of how are you approaching that?
So yeah, it's going to be content on mainly TikTok because I've noticed with TikTok there's a lot more of a information platform. It's so
Yeah.
easy for people to ask questions. You can pin that question, respond to that question with it. I'm surprised other platforms haven't picked up on that.
Yeah.
Someone that's doing that really well at the moment over here is a guy called Dan. Obviously, you met at London that time, Sports Card UK. He's
Mhm.
working with Toasting as well. He's working with Toasting. He's doing really well with that sort of content. So it's something that I see a massive gap in for and to use and to utilize really. So
Talk to me about the last where the hobby sits in the UK right now. I mean, so much has happened. There's a couple different big shows that now exist between London Card Show, what my guy Niam's doing with Sports Card Direct UK. What's that CardCon? I think that they do. Obviously, we've seen the Fanatics shop open. We've seen a lot of Premier League players who are kind of the superstars over there launching their thing. Grading is like somewhat available in some sense. What's kind of the general, your Top Scoring Premier League's about to come out. What's kind of the general vibes, energy? Give me a little live from the UK beat.
Well, the UK it's in a really good position at the moment. We were obviously having shows pretty much week in, week out, up and down the country. If you if you go back 4 or 5 years ago, there was hardly any shows. It was mainly card fairs, which was your vintage cards. So now you've got card shows, and some of them is a split of TTT only shows or sports only shows, and some of them are quite like merged together. Doing both of them, which is good to see. I always think that like I was someone that started. I'm an '86 baby, so I was 12, 13 when I started getting pocket monsters, and it was like Pokemon, and then also I had my Merlin stickers beforehand, but there was actual cards. It was always Pokemon first and then cards later on. So I always think yesterday's Pokemon collector could be tomorrow's sports collector. So I like them both merged in the same show. So I do like them sort of shows. But yeah, we have shows up and down the country. We've got a lot of big shows, like I said, CardCon, London Card Show, the Scotland Card Show. We have quite a few in Manchester, which is obviously always good to see. Being a Manchester lad, we have quite a few big shows up here, which is nice to see. Manchester CardCon was one of the biggest ones. So yeah, we're doing really well. And I think the grading thing has been obviously a bit of an issue because we have a lot of middlemen. So obviously when the Trump tax came in, it kind of messed a lot of things up. There was a lot of pauses. We have a lot of grading companies over here now. You'll find a lot of people will grade with them for their PC. It's a bit
that are local.
Yeah, there's a few in England now. So we've got MGC's, probably one of the biggest ones. We've got Ace Grading, which is run by Randolph, who's done a lot of stuff for the Sidemen.
Yeah, I remember. I've heard of that. Ace Grading.
Yes, Ace Grading.
Nice. And is that you mentioned like people are doing their PCs? I don't know if you heard when I was talking with Ryan. I don't know. There's something about me that feels there's a lot of opportunity for a new player to emerge in like a substantial way in grading. I just what's going through my brain. Beckett like really was like we're back over the last 72 hours, which I think is cool to see. Tag has pushed along really well and developed, I think, into a place that is respectable in many ways. Or are you seeing MGC and Ace, like, are people buying that stuff, or or is it more slab your personal stuff?
Yeah, I would say it's 50-50. A lot of people do it for personal, but you will see a lot of, especially Pokemon, a lot of buying
Yeah.
Pokemon for them sort of grades. What's interesting is we now have AGS grading in the UK. So it's an American grading company that uses AI. They've got the first one in England, that's in London. So that's become quite popular, and they're grading quite a lot as well. I think they overtook SGC the other month for grading, according to Generate.com. So they're like the third biggest grade at the moment, which is kind of crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, they're up there.
And that's AGS, huh?
Yes, AGS. So we've got an AGS UK page as well. So, and it's £15. So it's roughly about $20 for your card, 14-day turnaround.
Alex wants to know if you've been to the Fnatic shop in London.
Yes, went to London. They had one in Manchester for 3 months.
Would they do a little pop up?
Yes, in Manchester Central, and there's rumours it's going to be in Trafford Centre, which is a bigger like precinct section.
And how's the energy? How's the action? Was it how was the pop up?
Pop up was good. They did a trade night with the Manchester Card Con, so they teamed up with the Card Show Local and did trade night. It was also good vibes. They could have done more around getting players from the sets, because obviously they had the Manchester City team set, the United team set, but they didn't have the players there for those openings and when the patch released. Whereas with London, they do a lot more. London Card Show does a trade night monthly with them as well, so they do a lot down there.
Nice. And have you felt the impact of them having that presence in the city and the larger UK?
Yeah, massively, especially for resellers.
What was the product that just came out? The Topps paper product?
Well, which one? They're pumping out products left, right, and centre at the moment.
Did they do a
Okay.
Premier League? I have one somewhere here. I don't know. What was the product? What was the Topps product that just came out recently? That was, I think it was
Soccer-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had UCC, haven't we? We've had UCC Chrome, I think it's just come out. We had women's football as well. Women's soccer's come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how are they doing? Are they selling?
Yeah, they're doing well for breakers. They're doing well. What's interesting, they've done a lot of, I don't want to say lower because it's kind of disrespectful, but easier to get products, which we didn't really have in the UK. So you could go into a supermarket and buy these cards, which was interesting, and stickers. So now the licensing's changed over, it's helped a lot. But yeah, they're making it more accessible.
Yeah.
But it's about the standard of cards that are going to be accessible. That's going to be the big one.
And what are you collecting?
Whoa, so I'm trying to do like dynasties that I remember. So for me, I said I was born in '86. I sort of missed the Jordan boat. So I was a Lakers fan growing up. I was a Kobe guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm after, I go for the late '90s sort of Kobe, Shaq, Gasol sort of stuff. Obviously Chiefs at the moment.
Yeah.
The dynasty there. Manchester City cards, obviously being a Manchester lad. So that's my sort of thing at the moment. Any rookies, any autos, I'm sort of big on them. So
who's like the hottest City prospect right now?
The amount of money we're spending,
They're not developing prospects. You're just buying.
Yeah, we just develop a lot of kids and sell them off that you don't really hear about. I mean, look at Liam Delap. If you look at around the league, Cole Palmer, for instance, we sort of sell them off for good money. Oscar Bob looks like he's leaving to Fulham. Obviously, we had Jadon Sancho. Obviously, he went to Dortmund, went to United. So we seem to be that sort of club where we get these kids for pennies, or we grow them and then sell them for a lot more because of how the financial fair play works.
Yeah.
I do like Bob, Oscar Bob. Heskey's kids. He has 2 kids, Reagan, and I can't remember the other kid, but he's got 2 kids at City, and they're doing okay. They'll be interesting to watch.
Talk to me about, is it Rico Lewis?
Rico Lewis, yeah.
My boy kind of looked lost out there this weekend.
About 4 hours ago, we just got beat 3-1 in Champions League.
Did they?
Yeah, by Bodo.
I didn't see. By who?
Exactly. By who?
Did you say a Turkish squad?
It's Norwegian.
Ooh,
you checking, yeah. 3-1. Yeah, I know.
What happened?
2026 has not been our year.
No, it hasn't. Arsenal's really going to go win the league?
No.
So who is?
No. Well, obviously Manchester City will.
Got it. All right. Well, you guys got some work to do.
Oh,
so you're going to be a big United fan this weekend?
I'm a Manchester lad first. I always say I want Manchester to win, but Yeah, there's limits to this. A draw will be fine. They're 8 points clear, aren't they? So 8 points clear. So a draw, we'll win. That knocks it down. It's fine.
Nah, we're gonna beat them. I think we're gonna beat them.
Hopefully.
We got Mano playing now.
Yeah. Carrick's back, you know.
Yeah, the feeling has been restored.
I don't know. I think you could. I think you played well. I think we played really poor though. We played poor and you played really well.
I would
It's just-
agree with both those things, but I
Yeah.
will say I watched a good bit, and Rico Lewis looked just a little out of sorts out there.
Yeah, it's been a shame for Rico Lewis because I think if you go back a year or two ago, he was the sort of, he could be the Philip Lahm, he's very intelligent, play right back and play CDM. And I think now it's sort of getting found out a little bit that maybe he can't do multiple positions. We had it with Kyle Walker, Pep said that he can't play CDM.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be similar with Rico Lewis. And now the question is he big enough, strong enough, fast enough to play right back? Because we've seen it with Matheus Nunes, who's obviously a central midfielder, be right back, and we've sort of seen the differences there. So yes, it's interesting times. I'm sure we'll chuck some money at right back in the summer and be restored for next year.
Give me your kind of prediction or how you thinking and feeling about the World Cup.
I was a bit skeptical on the whole impact of the World Cup on cards. I think a lot of people, especially in the UK, were loading up on cards thinking that as soon as the World Cup's in America, the Americans will get onto soccer and it will just boom. I don't think that will be the way. I think there'll be an interest. I think there'll be a bit of a spike. I just don't think it's going to be as big one things it is. I don't think it's going to last that long. I think it's going to be very sad to see the likes of Messi and Ronaldo sort of hang it up. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be interesting. I think I can see Portugal doing well. I can see Spain doing well, and hopefully England.
Yeah, how do you
the German manager do well?
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Who gets left off? Who gets left off the squad? Will Rashford be on the squad?
No.
Will Grealish be on the squad? He's like the one. Like, where's the line of like?
Yeah, he's playing well for Everton. That's the problem. He's playing well for Everton, and that's what I like. At least with Rashford, he's in the Spanish league. He's got 4 tough games a season. You're at Barca, you play in Real Madrid and Atletico. They're your tough games. Everything else. Whereas Grealish in the Prem every week. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Grealish makes it though, unfortunately.
So who do you have up front? Harry Kane.
Yeah, Kane's got to, just because of
Foden, Palmer.
Yeah, if everyone's fit, Saka.
He's a starter right off the rip, right?
Yeah, exactly. Then you got to look at like Eze for Arsenal. Is he going to make it? He's not the one. So yeah,
Ollie Watkins.
Right. Probably not. I don't think
Tony?
he's done this. Yeah,
he's been like shunned from the sport. Is he in Saudi or what?
Yeah, he's in Saudi. In Saudi. I know that's what happens. You go to Saudi, you sort of get left out in the wilderness,
Yeah, but it is.
I think
you think they'll do well or no?
England.
Yeah,
of course he will.
Are you gonna win it?
We'll be up there. We'll be close.
I agree. Morgan Rogers is a baller. Morgan Rogers is definitely a baller. And I agree. Watkins for sure is on the squad.
You think he is?
I think he is. I think he's the number 2 striker.
Yeah, I think Tuchel might do something crazy. I think he might say like Liam Delap. I don't know. I think
that would blow my brain, but I could see it.
Yeah, I think he will. I think he's got to. I think he'll go a bit younger, a bit energy. I don't know. I guess.
Who's the captain? Harry Kane or is
it will be
at Real?
Yeah, it'll be Kane. It'll be Kane. I can't see Tuchel changing that.
Yeah. Respect.
Yeah, I think they've got to think about a good team out with Bellingham midfield. You'll see Mark Gay, defender. Pickford's been sort of really good for England.
Yeah.
We've got a good spine. We've got a good spine to the team.
Yeah.
We'll be up there.
Are you picking up any One Piece?
Do you know what? I was, and then I know I'm not. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone zigs, you should zag, right? So now I'm not. I'm a fan. I think it's gonna have a massive spike again because Netflix will do a massive promotional run. So if people want to invest in it to for investment purposes, get ready to sell because it's going to be massive. Because when's the new series out? It's like, is it March, April? I think it's
something coming big. I saw they're doing some with college basketball too. Like they partnered with a couple different teams.
Yeah, that Luffy Dortmund card is ridiculous.
Bananas. All
Yeah.
right. So
And
let
then
me ask
just-
you a question as a sign off. My cousin calls me and says, "Hey, like this sports card stuff is going crazy. Like I don't know much about it. How do I? What should I do? How do I start? How are you answering that question?"
what do you want to get in for? It's going crazy, but what do you want from this? Do you want to collect or do you want to invest?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Okay, well, define what you want to collect and define how much you need to like make back as an investment. So if you want to collect, what do you want to collect? What team? What player? What sets? Get to know stuff. You know, knowledge is going to be the power, right? So as soon as people like Prism, some people like Select, some people like Mosaic. So define what you like and then take it from there. Investment purposes is going to be very similar. So when you start learning what you like as a collection, you'll find out that you look at data, it'll say, hey, do you know what? Prism does sell a lot better than these other ones. Maybe I should invest in Prism. So then all of a sudden you look at Prism, you see how well it sells, and you look at players. And then depending on what sport it is, it's obviously going to be time of year and all that sort of stuff. But it's a journey, and you have to put the work in.
And if I was to say, okay, it's the beginning of January, I'm into American football. Obviously, it's the playoffs right now. What are kind of the 2 or 3 products I should take a look at?
I would be saying for investment purposes, you're probably looking at you're probably a bit too late for college football because obviously the draft, a lot of the stuff's already out. The Mendoza autograph is going to be big when that comes out next week. But
Yeah.
obviously, you're probably going to be looking out for next year. So maybe Arch Manning stuff. Try and go back to that because people aren't talking about Arch right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the actual NFL, it's probably a good time to buy Mahomes because people aren't talking about him as much. You know, he's injured. And yeah, who else do I believe in? Josh Allen, potentially. I don't know. I hate saying it because he doesn't seem to get there, does he? He doesn't get there, but he's just so good to watch. He's that guy that's the best to never do it, as he said. You know, the best to never do it. And I just think, he'll have a massive price fight. But if you look at the difference between his 12 months to Jalen Hurts' 12 months, is in prices and cards is crazy because Jalen Hurts was Super Bowl winner, MVP in Super Bowl. And his prices are way down compared to Josh Allen, who again didn't do it last year, didn't do this year, and they're up. I think it was like 137%. It was something crazy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy to see where people are actually putting their money on who people like. So you have to.
And it points to just like you're kind of always buying for the potential.
Oh, 100%. It's a prospecting game. Yeah, prospecting.
And then the second it kind of occurs, which is like kind of where's the pull switch, where's the kill switch for the World Cup, right? Because to your point, okay, I mean, I don't know when they announced it, maybe 2018, but at least since 2021, I know people have been throwing around, well, the World Cup's coming to America in 2026.
Yep.
It's going to go crazy. Now we're about 4 months out, 4.5 months out. At what point is it no longer crazy and it's over? Because it's going to be over before it even starts.
Like a blink of an eye, it's going to be over. And as I was saying, that people need to get it sorted because it needs to start selling soon when the hype is literally. I think when the Premier League season finishes, I think that's when it's going to be all eyes go to World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I found interesting as well. Like, whenever you talk to people from your side of the pond and you ask them about the team sport, it's always a Premier League team. They never say, like, oh, I support, Alaves in Spain or I support a random team in France. It's always my Premier League team is this team, Bournemouth, because of Michael B. Jordan, or it might be Birmingham because of Tom Brady. But it's interesting. It's always an English team. So it goes show you have the stronger market.
Yeah, and that also goes into like just content and awareness. I mean, the reason being in the States, like you can watch Premier League. La Liga is like behind a paywall on ESPN for the most part. You can't really turn on many other games. Now it's streaming, so Peacock, NBC Sports, USA, what have you, is all Premier League. The NFL has done the Premier League stuff. But like, unless you're a knowledgeable fan, like you can't find a way to watch Como play right now.
Unless you go there and sit next to Thierry Henry like someone else I know.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
How that should be a tops now card. So
That, I
that should be a
need.
tops
You're
now.
right. I do
Yeah,
need that as a little
that should
top
be.
now. I should make my own. I should make my own.
It's a
Well,
classic.
brother, I appreciate you so much. I know it's late at night. I could talk this hobby with you for hours. And I just appreciate so much that you've done, not only for me, supporting me, Card Talk, and just putting on for everybody. Anything we can ever do for you, please let us know. I'm coming over to the UK in the next 2 months, I believe, or so. And once I have that locked in, I want to put on a little event. VeeFriends has a big product release coming out. We'll have some partners working over there, and just want to spend more time together. So I'll let you know about my travels. Maybe we can catch a match together, see what's going on.
For sure, man. I appreciate you, everything you do. Appreciate you bringing this back. The people need it, and you saw the love and how much it meant to the UK. This was a big entrance to the hobby for a lot of the UK guys. It really was. So I'm glad.
There's something about being over there and the culture in general, and I love it. And so I will be doing all I can to keep touching down and making things happen. Were you at the trade night at little mini thing in the basement of that pub that I did with Tosin that night?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
right?
They're the best things. That's probably one of the best things about the England show is how we just sort of have random sort of trade nights and meetups, and it just turns into more beer and food, really.
Yeah. Life is good, bro. It's good to see you, my man. Get some rest tonight and keep doing your thing, all right? Appreciate you so much.
Thanks for everything, yeah. Take care.
All the best, bro. Peace.
Bye.
Man, that's my guy right there. That is wealth of knowledge. And when someone talks about the spine of the squad, they're proper, they can talk some proper footy. It sounds like England's got a good spine. So it's like the spine of a comic book with the spine of a football team. All right, so to wrap up our show, we've been going an hour, 15 minutes, and I've got an individual that I'm incredibly excited about bringing on. This is a little bit of a different direction, but another area that I'm incredibly bullish on. And what I'm excited about is it's today, Tuesday, June 20th at 8:18 p.m. on the East Coast. And just like my boy Pack Rip, we were together in 2021 probably. And here we are 5 years later talking about things and the journey that he's been on. I'm excited because the individual I'm about to have on is one of the more talented artists, designers that I have come to know. And what's funny is you get to know people and then all of a sudden things happen and you're like, yo, we've known each other for mad long actually. And we're kind of in that process and phase right now. But I guess what I was trying to allude to is I know that if the consistency stays there and what's happening in custom cards, Saturday morning cards is something I point to a lot, but individual, what's happening in sports with NIL, what's happening in the t-shirt and apparel business is happening big time, where individual players will partner up with a designer and sell merchandise that way, is starting to happen, but will be happening in a major way. And I believe that this individual is going to be a major player in that whole scene. And so I'm now going to welcome my boy, Bradley Jack, to the stage. Bradley, what up?
You're too kind.
How you doing, my friend?
Doing great. Just hanging out.
I appreciate your patience.
Freezing. It's no problem.
It's cold.
Yeah.
It's cold. I like what you're doing here, but give me, because you had the logo on the mic before and it's cutting off a little bit.
It's here.
Yeah, there you go. Talk to me. Is this your logo? Is it? I feel like I've seen it before. Maybe you've got it everywhere now.
I laughed because Coach had the double Yankees on.
Yeah.
I've got the triple Bradley Jack design logo going on.
You got it right.
Yeah, I redid it in 2023 solely because I wanted to put it on a hat. It was a little thinner before and wouldn't look good on a hat, but I put everything on today.
That's amazing. Brad, we first met, I don't know, a couple years ago now. You were doing stuff with Ryan.
That's where we first sort of introduced ourselves to each other.
Yeah.
We didn't meet until last May at Ryan's shop for Crumb release.
But we had we were engaging with each other in some ways.
I'd nibbled a little bit with Ryan making some graphics over the last couple years and made some more for him last year. And then
I feel like, did you ever do a graphic in some way for Card Talk? Or
Oh yeah. I made Card Talk graphics for you guys. Let me see if I have my computer up here. I have a Card Talk September 30th, Grove City. It looks like this file was created in 2023 or 2022.
Yep.
So
'Cause I had you in my phone as Brad Card Talk or Brad CC2 designer.
yeah. Yeah, and it's like a funny thing. Like I know when I met you guys in the V Friends family at Ryan's shop, I had to be like, I don't work for Ryan. I do work for him, and it's great.
Yeah.
I'm not one of his employees. I'm just a guy that does stuff, and I live an hour away, so I drove up here.
Yep. That was great. And thank you for that ride. I remember that, that things started to click because I'm like, oh, interesting. Okay. Brad, there's two different paths to go down.
Yep.
One, which I think is shorter, but one that I'm also super pumped about. And then maybe I'm realizing some of the VFriend stuff I kind of put to the back, but you have been working on pretty integral in some VFriends product stuff that we have getting ready to hit the market in February.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's that been? As someone that works deeply at VFriends, but you're more probably engaging with Rips or the design team. What's up with that? And how'd that come to be?
So Rips read a DM I sent him in May saying like, hey, I got to leave because I didn't see him.
Mm-hmm.
He saw that like 4 months later and replied to me. He wanted to know if I could find like a product designer. And in my mind, product designer is like UI, UX. I'm like, no, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
And then he like emailed me if I could like help him with some stuff. I helped Andy with something real quick. And then he was like, Rips was like, why didn't you tell me you could do this? I'm like, what do you mean product designer? So, I mean, Rips emailed me and was basically like, hey, we want some help on this product we've got coming out, and explained the product to me. So like 98% of that product I designed. So
that's
like
amazing.
I didn't design any of the characters. I didn't do the Bancroft illustration, but all the inserts based on what Rips wanted and the team wanted. I made the product's mine. I made the whole product for the most part.
Yeah.
Which is great because that's like last year. I know you chimed on this earlier. Like I was doing an everyday video sort of deal. I ended up. There was a death at a local university of one of the teachers, so I agreed to teach there. So that sucked up a couple of my days, and then my other time I had to do freelance work to pay the bills. So I kind of stuttered a little bit. There's another thing happened that I talked to Gary about, and you were there, and it was the perfect video of what happened. But I stopped doing that, kind of stalled. So I'm trying to pick that back up this year. I sent a couple emails today about some production things about doing my own card stuff, which probably segues into what you want to talk about. So yeah, like I look at Tyson Beck, who's my age, huge in the card world, custom card world, with unlicensed stuff. And I mean, you brought it up too with like custom cards. There aren't like good legal ones out there. It's like Tyson Beck doing his own thing. There's a couple other guys, Spectre doing stuff with the Eagles.
Yeah.
So like that's something that I want to try and do.
Yeah.
And I know there's a bunch of spaces or gaps in the hobby that nobody touches, that maybe nobody cares, but nobody touches. And I feel like there's a bespoke a way of going about it with people. So like I started off making I made a bunch of chess cards around like the Botez sisters, and like I talked to one of their agents, and like nothing happened from it, but I like sent him this big pitch deck and was like, he thought it was cool and an idea, and I was trying to explain it like how you can sell it. Like, we can do packs or mystery packs at a flat rate, or they can buy what they want. And people theoretically you need to sell 500 cards a person to like sell out. If we make like 800 cards, like that's nothing for people who have 1 million followers. So I started doing that. Then I was doing weekly streams once or twice a week to design the cards. So like I got into a habit that got interrupted by teaching and stuff, where I'd get a suggestion from someone, make a card that week, have it ready for a pitch deck to send off. which now I'm thinking is a little quick. I think what I want to do now is sort of curate a more full set of cards for people. Like the last thing I did, one of my last videos was like I made like a good card. 'Cause I know you're a
I
golf
saw
guy.
that. Yeah.
So like I made a good card, and I'm like, good's huge. They're growing. Like it'd be sick if they could sell a card pack, like limited run, either buy it online if you want specific players, or we just tell you who's in it and you get packs.
Did
'Cause
you
I-
see KFC Barstool did one? Or not KFC Barstool. Big Cat and that show. Part of my take.
No, I don't think I saw that.
Look into that. Part of my take did a big drop.
Card. Yeah, and like I know like gas trading cards.
Yep.
Like they team up with Complex.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'll see they'll make music cards every once in a while, and like from me as a designer, I mean there's a photo and it's real shiny, which is nice, but it's not like anything crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I can do that. So I mean, where I'm at now, in a reality sense,
Yeah. Tell
I'm
me.
a real realistic person. Like,
Yeah. But
I've
maybe
got,
too realistic.
I agree. I need to be a little bit more tenacious in some things.
Yep.
I know that, but like, I don't have a name behind me that people are going to want to collect. People want Topps, people want Panini, people want Tyson because there's name recognition there. Got to start.
Agreed. But you know, like that there wasn't always for Tyson.
Yes, but I did look back like five or 6 years ago before he started doing this. He still had a pretty decent following.
He did. He did.
But yes, I get that. And he did Topps 2020,
Mm-hmm. Which was like a crazy moment.
which was great for like the 20
Yeah.
people who did it, which was
Yep.
awesome.
Yep.
it
That
was
was a
perfect
wild.
timing.
That was
It
a
was
wild
perfect.
moment.
And I feel like they can't do that again because everybody hopped in like card 20.
Yeah.
And then they're
Correct.
like, how do I get card 6?
Yep. That's exactly
and then
right.
everybody bought what the
And everyone
short
would
Griffey-
know now in 1 second, and it would be
Everybody bought the short Griffey or something like that, and then
Yeah.
everything is just tanked.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's ways of going about it. So I'm trying to get with a printer locally. They told me they printed these cards that I made with University of Dayton, which came out great.
Oh, those
Laminated.
are sweet.
They're the
Yep.
same
You did
cards.
those?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Show me
Yeah,
just
so-
one. Put one on the screen.
Let me pull where's a good one? So I copied sort of Prism with this. These are the base cards.
Yep.
So we did gold, black, silver, blue, but this is another one.
And
This
this
is
is
a
like
regular-
this is a Dayton, just like straight. They made it. They put it out their own.
I contacted them a couple years ago and was like, "We should be making sports cards for Dayton."
Mm-hmm.
So we made the first run. So this was the first year we just did these.
Yeah.
So this is drawing homes on the Nuggets, which is cool.
Sweet.
I've got one in a case somewhere that says like artist proof. So we made these and sold them in like 3 card packs or something like that for like $50.
Mm-hmm.
Did really well that year because I think we played well. We had an NBA player on the team,
Mm-hmm.
so that really helped out. So last year we put out these other packs, and I hand packed them over Thanksgiving. Like we were playing UConn and like UNC and some classic and beat UConn. So we printed out 15,000 cards. There's a different one.
And Jet Set.
That we
Those are
did.
sweet.
I think he's on the G League team for the Magic.
Sick.
So we made 900 packs. So I packed 900 packs myself. I figured out how to.
Would you have the machine, like the crimping machine?
No, we got just resealable. We just got team bags,
Got it.
and basically each pack had like 12 to 15 cards in it.
Yep.
I had 3 card packs. I made a video about it. It's like, here are the 3
Uh-huh.
card packs. You're either getting this, this, or this. And you're
Yeah.
guaranteed getting 2 or 3 autos.
Yeah.
So we did that. We sold those for $50 each. They did pretty decent. And then, I mean, Dayton lost like 2 games, and that's all that you need for people to not care anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We sold most of them though. They definitely made money on it, which
Uh-huh.
was good.
Yeah.
So like, this same printer got a better printer.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and see the strategy based on some advice, and you or Gary might have said this was, I'm gonna try and design the cards, and I'm gonna try and just pay to get a sheet printed,
Yep.
and then make videos or send them to them. Be like, hey, we can make these. Like there's a market here for you. It just depends on how much money there is to change, and that's
Yeah.
also the biggest hurdle.
Yeah, of course.
Like it's funny. I'm reading. Soggy says they expanded Good Good Girls too. That would be legit. Humorously, so like one of the girls they added to Good Good, her name's Marissa Wensler. She's from Dayton, Ohio, where I'm from. We went to the same high school. She actually caddied for a member team I was playing against with my dad like 3 years ago.
Nice.
And I could easily, and her brother's here locally and like does golf content. So like,
Yeah.
there's an avenue there for these to get in their eyes to be like,
Yeah.
hey, Ryan, send these to your sister.
Yep.
So that's what I kind of want to start focusing on. Like for my first batch is like 4, 5, 6 different designs that could go in a set of cards for
Mm-hmm.
Good specifically. That's my idea. So ideally I would get those, print them off, send them off to them, say, hey, let's get this done. You know, I don't have crazy money up front to send you.
Yeah.
Let's do some sort of back end split. You get 90%. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, I'm doing
Yeah.
this for the love of the game for most of it.
Yep.
And that's what I've told people too. Like I talked to someone's agent. I talked to 2 different people last year, but I talked to someone's agent last year and they had a different offer from a different card designer, Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, we got this X amount of money up front. And I'm like, cool, go hang out with Tyson.
Yeah.
I'll give you 90% on the back end. That'll be about the same. We
Yep.
just have to sell 800 cards,
Yep.
which should be pretty easy theoretically.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't have racks of money chilling to just.
You got to post your designs, bro. You got to.
No, I know.
You got to put more. You got to post more. Like, and I just believe so deeply. It's right there,
Yeah.
and you have the talent. You have the ability. The printers are available. Not long ago, no one could print this stuff.
Oh yeah.
No one could contact any of these people. And the conversation around it is just going so bananas that the tide can turn very quickly. And I just have to push you to like stay.
No, I get it. It's just I need to find the right type of person to take that chance.
Yeah.
A lot of people are risk averse and they don't want to
Yeah.
do that.
Well, I'm going to do this, and this is going to be our clips, and this is the clips that I'm most excited about, which is I'm going to pull this up. Like, you need to go ballistic about your involvement in this.
Yeah. I'm going to do that. Like, I was trying to gauge from like May and Rips of like, hi, how much can I brag about this on the internet? Like,
Hard.
and it was before it came out. So I was like waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yep.
But I mean, I've got a case in 2 boxes coming. So like
I
when that
love
comes
it.
out, like I'm ripping the 2 boxes and keeping the case sealed.
Good, man.
And just
Can we
gonna
talk
go-
about these designs for a second?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so let me see if I have the ability. I don't think I personally have the ability to zoom in any way. Let's see. Is that zooming in like on the thing?
It's a zooming. Yeah, you're zooming in. Yeah,
All right,
that's good.
cool. Okay, so this is our new Spectacular Series Super sticker set. It is our first that we are doing. I guess we put out the manga series. This is kind of, we're taking it to another level because that one, Steph Curry was kind of the chase.
Right.
This is like inserts galore. I mean, that 6-dimension insert is insane.
Yeah.
And a lot of the design aspect comes from our Spectacular Series digital collectibles NFTs. But as you, the designer, talk to me about Spectacular Showdowns. Like, how did you get here? What was the thought process?
So I'm trying to remember what they basically wanted, something where they were intertwined with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And originally it was going to be some like, I originally pitched something that was more of a swirl where they're swirling around and like, it's like a portal sort of scenario. It started with that originally. And then it shaped into this sort of, it changed, I think, the name to Spectacular Showdowns. And I was like, okay, well, you know, it's Showdown. So I wanted to make it look like a video game startup screen or a versus menu, which is 100% what it looks like here. So we've got our names at the top. And then I think there's 10 different cards. I played around a bit with it going full edge. I think one thing with the super stickers is they've got that nice holographic edge to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, when people rip these open, like we need to have some full bleed stuff in there so they can
Mhm.
immediately go, oh, and get excited. This is
Yep.
what we've got in this pack. And you'll see that across a lot of these stickers.
Yep.
So the
Haunted
showdowns
holograms.
are the haunted holograms, and the showdowns and the sixth dimension were those are the ones I think are awesome. Like those were
Yeah.
a blast to make.
Yeah.
Um,
This is like the sixth dimension. Is like one of my favorite V-Friends designs that I've seen come out.
that one was tricky because there's 20 different cards of those,
Mm-hmm.
and not everybody is facing the same way.
Mm.
Not everybody's tall. No, not everybody's just a figure like Rare Robot.
Yeah.
You know, so there's some like peculiar ones in there. I like rotated and flipped around, and it was trying to figure out a way to incorporate all the parallel backgrounds in there with some sort of sixth dimension space access. So there's
Yeah.
like, I'm trying to find, I think I could find some initial pitch things for this, but I know Gary specifically had in mind okay, I found it. Like there's a phases card
Mm-hmm.
from Optic. So it's sort of like that. It was sort of
Mhm.
like, how do we do that? And I'm like, well, those cards, you've got literally a progression of something happening. These
Yeah.
are just like guys static.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do we do this?
Yep.
The Spectacular Showdown sort of started out as like a dual color blast.
Uh-huh.
Like that was the inspiration behind it. And it's like, what can we do to develop it further from that?
Yep.
So I put together that Spectacular Showdown's techie logo, threw it on there, and I think it turned out pretty well.
Yeah. I think it's sick. Which is your favorite?
I mean,
Really,
Haunted-
this showdown, sixth dimension, and haunted holograms are where you
Yeah,
had to
I
like
mean, it's
really
those.
lean in, right?
yeah, those were the ones I could be most creative with. Like Gary B. Dual Auto, it's like, how do we do a dual auto with Gary? So I used the circles from the V-Friends cat logo and
Mhm.
implemented that. We've got that in a green, purple, and gold. I've seen some photos of them. They look awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for those to come out. The diamond die cuts are going to be interesting because it's a custom die cut. So like
Yeah.
I passed off files and I'm like, I don't know what they're going to look like. They should look sick because like sports cards, like with these cards here, you know, and I've made a video on it like day 19. And it's like my most viewed video from that series I was doing is like the white layer on there is like just behind the player and like the logo. So everything else is going to be on holographic printed.
Mm-hmm.
So these are kind of mocked up how they would be, but you're not going to be able to tell until you see them in real life and then shimmer them together.
Yep.
And they're going to look sick. Even the Tom Bancroft one, like
So sweet.
I tweaked that. So there's a lot of holographic showing through inside that frame
Mm-hmm.
that you'll see in real life. Like the cat and the mountain and all the gems are going to be solid, but then like everything else is holographic. So it's going to look pretty sick.
Sick. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for seeing like Gary talk about it in videos or like people bring it up on Whatnot and people are like, what are you talking about? And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you missed the boat. Like go to Dave and Adams,
Yeah.
go to their website. That's where you're
Make
going to
a
be able
play.
to get them.
Do you have I'm so pumped. Like, and we're gonna have to do another interview, and I'm just gonna implore you to like squeeze the living juice out of this whole thing.
Yeah.
And even you and Gary should do some content together. We can make that happen. We're
Yeah.
doing a big push on like get people assets and help like tell the stories around a lot of this stuff. If you had one athlete that you could design a card for, who would it be?
It's a twofer. It's one of these two gentlemen to decide here. So it'd either be Obi Toppin or Devin Hester. The answer is Devin Hester.
Okay.
I emailed him about making a card. Like I made something about I sent him an email of a card I mocked up. And like the last video on my Instagram that you can see before I stopped making them was like, so the Nationals in Chicago.
Yeah.
So like it'd be sweet if I pair my name with someone who does have the following. Like Mantel gave out a bunch of cards, didn't they?
Yep.
Like
Yep.
so like do that.
Yep.
Just be like, boom, okay. Bradley Jack Design's gonna make a card of Devin Hester with XYZ. You can only get it at the National. You know,
I love
it's
it.
either either a giveaway or it's a card only exclusive there. Figure out how we,
Bro, have you thought about doing it for like Card Collector 2, King of the Cards? Have you thought about doing it that way?
yeah. So like, I talked to Ryan a little bit about this,
Mm-hmm.
but it was more so like the Ohio State side. Like I talked to Ohio State people in the NIL
Mm-hmm.
to figure all of that out. And there's just weird hoops to jump through with stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there is.
like Jeremiah Smith can't have his own card. It has to be part of a pack
Yeah.
because of how his deal with Panini is.
Yeah.
So it's like, I talked to them a little bit about that and they kind of fell off on it.
I think entrepreneurs, I think everyone wants to be an Allen and Ginter. You can create your own in some way.
Yeah.
I think creators, for sure. I
Yeah,
think businesses, like pizza shops. I do think there's something to the Barstool area.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I messaged a couple card people, and they were like, "Yeah, let me know
Mm-hmm.
what's going on in the future."
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it to me is it's getting the athlete on board to want to do this, and the design should do most of the talk,
Yep.
but money also talks too. So it's
Of
like,
course. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
anyone
like-
with an agent, it's not even their choice anymore.
yeah, I mean, that was the thing that I found interesting when I hopped on and chatted with Gary real quick. He was like, "Don't go to the agents; they're not going to be helpful."
Nope.
And like,
Yeah, I mean, we represent a lot of players. Like,
I thought that was
and even-
funny too. Is like, so I shouldn't DM AJ and be like, "Hey, man."
No,
Which one of your
because
people
like
do this?
our duty is to them, and it's like
Yeah,
it's not always the smart thing. It's like the money thing or the 47 pieces of context that like is what they're looking for from us. You can
Yeah.
only go to someone so many times, like, hey, here's this like unpaid thing that like you should do because it makes sense, but like it's gonna take work to promote it. Like that is not what anyone wants to hear from their agent because it's like,
Yeah.
well, you're supposed to be getting me more money for less work. But like when I think about content creators, they understand the work, they understand the game, they understand promotion and driving demand equals sales. And then entrepreneurs, like all of them want to be on a card, every single one of them, and they got money,
yeah.
so they might just do it for themselves.
Yeah, it was similar business, but not in a different avenue. I talked to someone one of our neighbors works at like J&J, and she was talking like, could I get these cards made for my team to be
Yeah.
like,
I might need to
carding
have you do
things?
so. How long does it take to talk to me about this hypothetically? Like, what is a small run that you could do, like those Dayton ones?
I know what I can do based on a quote I got from a printer.
Yeah.
So like the last quote I got from a printer was like 1,200 cards, was like the low end. I'm trying to check with this different printer that's locally that did these cards
Yep.
to see if like what they could do, because ideally what I want them to tell me essentially is, hey, buy this ream of paper
Mhm.
that's 24 by 36. It's, I don't know, $400 or $500. And I'll be like, okay, great, whatever. And then I'll go, if I want you to print off 4 sheets, can you do that? When does
Yep.
that fit in? How many per sheet? Because we printed these off 18 a sheet. And I know the bigger ones, you can do 90 a sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Or the biggest size that I've done with the cards beforehand was with a different company. We did 90 a sheet. So if I go, give me a test sheet of this.
Yeah.
Can I give you, what is it, $20 to do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Great. Cut them, give them to me. And then that's ideally what I want to do is basically say, hey, print a test sheet of this, cut them out, laminate them, send them back to me. So I have cards that I can post content about saying,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
XYZ, I made this card for you. Look how sick this is. Tag him. Let's get this card done. Who would buy one of these?
Yeah.
Who would buy one of these for $50, $100? And that's the thing too with card market is like going in before you grow to that entity. A lot of people don't like as much custom cards depending on who's on it. People are going to love Devin Hester. I know that because
Mhm.
I collect a lot
Yeah.
of Devin Hester.
Legend.
So, but like, even if you look at some of his like top stuff that came out that's unlicensed, it's kind of like, it's
Mhm.
there. These would look better.
Yeah.
in my mind. So there's a give and take there.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's and that's where I sort of fall, because I know I've talked to someone who was like, hey, we've got this like UFC star,
Yeah.
like he just want to fight, he's gonna want a lot more money than this other person we talked about, and I'm like, his cards don't sell for that much though.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, his cards are like $30.
Yeah.
Like, people don't. I can't. There's no way that would work.
Yep.
So that's why I
Not
would
gonna
have
fly.
to. I'm like, I was just like, no, I can't do that.
Just keep pushing, bro. Keep pushing every corner and keep designing. And as someone that doesn't have artistic talents, gets to work around a lot of artistic people. I was just for Sunday and Monday, I was with Gary and we were with all of our comic artists.
Yeah.
And the amount of stuff that they have that has never seen the light of day. And to them is just completely normal. And to me blows my brain.
Oh yeah.
Like just everything, anything you work on the design, you got to put it out there. Put your name on it. People want to see. Maybe it's just me because I like stuff like that, but like, just keep pushing it. Brad, where can people find your works?
Anywhere on social media, Bradley Jack Design.
Bradley
So,
Jack Design, no S at the end, just straight Bradley Jack
just
Design.
Bradley Jack Design. It's Bradley Jack DSGN on Twitter, but if you search, you should
If
be
you
able to
search
search
it, it'll pop up.
If you
yeah.
search Bradley Jack Design on YouTube, I come up almost. If you or on Google, if you type in Bradley Jack, I do rank pretty well.
Yeah.
But there was a guy who worked for like the Lehman Brothers who passed away, or something like that. And I was like, oh, I can't outbeat a big tech whiz. Actually, if you Google
Yeah.
Bradley Jack, I'm all over the place on the first page. So that's pretty good.
Love it. That's good work by you.
Love
good
to see
good
it.
SEO. Good SEO. I have a potential idea I want to hit you up about that we might be
Yeah.
able to work on. I'm going to be in touch because I need more content out of you about the designs for the Spec Series super stickers.
Yeah.
And I just appreciate you, man. I'm pulling
Hey,
for you, and I'm
I
here to help
appreciate
in
this
any
as
way that
well.
I can.
I'm not going anywhere. I'll be right here in this room next time we chat.
That I know. Can't wait.
Cool.
Have a great
Next time.
evening, bro.
You
Talk
too.
soon, all right?
Bye.
Peace. Bye. All right, gang. James Cook, thank you for being here. Soggy, thank you for being here. That Soggy, I gotta know, Soggy, did you know that that was the designer of Spec Series inserts? Because now you do, and there's more to come. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. Tekken, thank you for being here. I'm excited to continue to build this. This is week 2 in the books. If you've listened to this as a podcast up to this point, thank you. You can find me at Card Talk Pod on socials or at Tyler on Instagram. I'm hosting a small event in New York City on Tuesday evening, February 5th. If that's of interest to you, please reach out. I'd love to have you there. And otherwise, have a great rest of the week. All the best. Let's keep kicking ass. Peace.